Dot Solutions. Add-on desires.
Hello viewers, welcome to Dot Solution Daily Current Affairs. I am Lokesh Pengonda. In this session, we'll cover current affairs of both the Hindu and the Indian Express, and in the end, we'll see some practice MCQs as well. We'll begin our session with the first article, which is talking about a new scheme launched by the Supreme Court of India. So, we are talking about an initiative or a scheme launched by the Supreme Court. This initiative or the scheme is titled as Faster. So, what does faster refer to? It refers to the fast and secure transmissions. It refers to the fast and secure transmissions. Secure transmissions of electronic records, of electronics records. So, why did the Supreme Court of the country come up with this faster scheme? The reason is to reduce the delays that is taking place with respect to the law enforcement agencies. What we have been witnessing is that whenever the Supreme Court give a particular order, let it be a bail, the bail to be reached to the jail authorities, and the jail authorities to release a particular person, it is taking way too much time. It may be a week or it may be more than a week. This is amounting to human rights violations. It is amounting to human rights violations, because even though the Supreme Court is formally giving a person bail, this person is not being released out by the jail authorities for a period of time. So, to prevent this issue and to overcome this issue, the Supreme Court of the country has come up with this scheme, where the Supreme Court has stated that its orders, its judgments, its bail orders would be directly sent to the high courts, would be directly sent to the jail authorities and to the relevant individuals and authorities, so that there would be lesser delay when it comes to implementation of these orders by various authorities. So, you should remember that faster is a scheme of the Supreme Court. Our next article is talking about an operation or an exercise done by the DRI. So, what do you mean by DRI? DRI stands for Directorate of Revenue Intelligence. It stands for Directorate of Revenue Intelligence. And they have recently conducted an exercise titled as Operation Monte Carlo. The operation or the exercise is titled as Operation Monte Carlo. So, we'll see about this operation of Monte Carlo. By doing this Operation Monte Carlo, they have unearthed a smuggling racket. They have unearthed the smuggling of luxury cars. So, we'll see why luxury cars are being imported into the country through illegal routes. Under the present government acts and regulations, the luxury cars to be imported in the country will have to pay a customs duty of 204%. That means if a luxury car is costing 1 crore in the United States, if the same car have to be imported to India, it will cost 3 crores, because 1 crore will be the cost of the car, 2 crores will be the tax that you have to pay to the government. As you can see that the tax is amounting to more than 2 times the original price of the car. So, to overcome the paying of this huge tax amount to the government authorities, several individuals have been importing luxury cars from various countries. They are doing so under the names of various diplomats. So, we'll also see why names of various diplomats are being used. Under various government and international regulations, the cars that are used by diplomats of one country in other country should not be taxed. For example, if a US ambassador of India, that is the US ambassador who is working in India, if he wants to import a car from United States or some other country, he would not have to pay, he would not have to pay any tax to the Indian government. So diplomats will not have to pay any tax to the relevant authorities and the relevant government. So by using diplomats' names, several car companies and individuals have been smuggling luxury cars into India, and now under this Operation Monte Carlo, they have been arrested by the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence. Our next article is talking about the B3W. So what is this B3W? B3W stands for Build Back Better World. It stands for Build Back Better World. Shortcut is B3W. So what is this Build Back Better World? Last month we have seen the G7 summit taking place in the United Kingdom. And in the G7 summit, the leaders of this G7 summit have come together and they have come out with this new scheme called as the Build Back Better World. So what is the scheme talking about and what is the objective of this scheme? The objective of this scheme is to provide loans and development assistance to infrastructure development in the low and middle income countries. So how does this work? Let's say there is a country in Africa. This African nation might want to construct a port. So it wants to construct a port, but it might not have enough money to construct this port or some other infrastructure project. Under this B3W, B3W and the G7 countries will provide loans and development assistance to this African nation to construct the particular port, so that trade can be developed, so that economic development can take place in this African country. You should also note that this B3W is widely seen as an opposing move of the China's Belt and Road Initiative. We have already seen about the Belt and Road Initiative of China. We'll just see in brief again about this. In the year 2013, Chinese president has come up with this flagship program wherein they have stated that they will provide loan and other financial assistance to countries who want to develop their infrastructure projects. So China has first come up with this infrastructure supporting scheme, and now the G7 summit and the G7 grouping has also come up with this Build Back Better World scheme or a project. Our next article is talking about the ministry clearing the rules for the vintage cars. So what are vintage cars? You can see how a vintage car looks like. Vintage cars are nothing but cars that have been registered for the first time more than 50 years ago. So if you still have a car dating 1950s or 1970s, you may be it may be a vintage car. So cars which are more than 50 years, it is 1950 to 1960 or even before 1950. So cars which are registered more than 50 years ago are termed as vintage cars according to the new government rules, and it is stated that these vintage cars will be given the identifying number or the identifying code as VA. For example, if you have a car in the state of Telangana, the car number might start with TJ. The same would be for MH, which is a Maharashtra identifier car. But all the vintage cars in the country would be identified with the starting words or starting initials as VA. So these are two things you need to remember. First is cars which are more than 50 years old, which are first registered, is called as vintage cars, and second is they will start with the term VA. Our next article is talking about the Assam budget. Last week, the Assam budget has been tabled in the state of Assam, and apart from Assam budget, they have also come up with a cattle related scheme called as Assam Cattle Protection Scheme, called as Assam Cattle protection scheme. We'll see some major provisions of this scheme brought out by the Assam government. First is banning of sale and transport of beef in areas which are predominantly lived by Hindu, Buddhist and Jain and Sikh communities. So, ban of sale and transportation of beef will be in communities that are predominantly lived by Hindu, Buddhist, Jain and Sikhs. The second important provision is to improve the cattle infrastructure and improve the dairy development in the state. So, the second provision is to promote cattle living in the state of Assam and dairy development. Assam government has stated that it will try to develop the dairy industry by ensuring that 90% of the calves that are born would be females. So, how would you ensure that the 90% of the newborn cattle are females? It will be through the sex sorted semen usage. So, by sorting out the semen that you insert into this female animal, you can be able to produce more amount of females when we compare to the male cattle. So, Assam budget has proposed these two important provisions under the Assam Cattle Protection Scheme. Our next article is talking about the Assam budget, where it is stated that it will try to control the cattle population. Last week we have seen the bill which is formally approved by the Assam government. This was the Assam Cattle Protection Bill. Assam Cattle Protection Bill. In this Assam Cattle Protection Bill, it is stated that there would be a ban of sale and transport of beef in areas which are predominantly lived by Hindu, Buddhist, Jain and Sikh communities. And after bringing up this Assam Cattle Protection Bill in the Assam budget which happened yesterday, it is stated that it will try to ensure more number of female calves being born. So, how do you ensure that female calves are being born 90% of the time? The answer is through the artificial insemination. So, by sorting out the semen, you might be able to increase the number of female calves that are being born in the to a particular animal. So, these two are initiatives brought out by the Assam government. Our next article is talking about a new quad grouping to enhance and to improve the regional connectivity. So, what is a quad? Quad or the quadrilateral is nothing but a combination or a grouping of 4 countries. A grouping of 4 countries. Already we have seen one quad which contains United States, Australia, Japan and India. Whereas yesterday a new quadrilateral grouping or a new quad has been formally announced. This new quad is mainly to improve the connectivity between the member countries. So, what are the new member countries of this quad grouping? They are United States, Pakistan, Afghanistan and Uzbekistan. So, we'll see where these 3 countries are in. In the image, you can see how Afghanistan is sharing its borders with Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan and Pakistan. So, to enhance the connectivity between these 3 bordering countries and with the United States, this new quadrilateral grouping has been announced yesterday. Our next article is talking about Turkey's criticism against the European Union's court's ruling. So, what did the European Union court ruled last week? Last week, the European Union has stated that employers would be given a right so as to ban the usage of headscarves worn by Muslim women in their workforce. So, employers can ban employers can ban workers who are using headscarves. Headscarves. Muslim women mainly use these headscarves. So, Turkey, which is a Muslim majority country, have criticized the European Union's court ruling. Turkey's Prime Minister, Turkey's President, Mr. Recep Tayyip Erdogan has stated that European Union has been asking other member countries to improve the fundamental human rights and fundamental religious rights, but European Union courts themselves are not valuing the fundamental religious rights of Muslims majorly. So, this is a criticism of the European Union's court ruling, which has prohibited the workers wearing headscarf if the employers want to initiate these kind of measures. Our next article is talking about the government losing its control over the Venezuelan capital region. So we'll see where Venezuela is. Venezuela, as you can see in this image, is a South American continent country. The capital of Venezuela is Caracas. It is stated that several armed militia or armed gangs are ruling parts of Caracas, and it is stated that government and the government law enforcement agencies, even though they are trying to gain control or take back control over some areas, they have not been able to do so. So we'll see about the background of Venezuela in brief. Venezuela have been fighting economic crisis since the time United States and Western countries have imposed sanctions. So why did they impose sanctions? In the last election, it is stated that Mr. Nicolas Maduro, who is the incumbent president of the country, he is accused of numerous frauds in the election happening. So it is stated that through fraud he has won the election. So due to this reason, United States and several European Union countries have brought in sanctions of Venezuela, and due to this reason the economic development in Venezuela has been struck, and as a reason several armed gangs and several criminals are able to take control over large parts of Venezuela and including its capital Caracas. Next we have an article which is talking about a special operation done by the Uttarakhand State Police. The Uttarakhand State Police. From the last few weeks, what we have been witnessing is thousands and lakhs of tourists visiting the tourist areas. Last year we have seen the COVID pandemic, and as a result many people could not go to any tourist spot, and now due to decreasing number of COVID cases and increasing number of vaccinations that are taking place, thousands and lakhs of people are going to tourist places. It may be Uttarakhand, it may be Himachal Pradesh, or it may be even Ladakh. And due to this large presence of tourists, they are not able to control, the police establishment are not able to control these tourists, and they are not able to enforce the COVID related regulations. And there are instances of tourists trying to disturb the sanctity of religious places in this particular tourist spots, to ensure that the COVID related norms are followed, to ensure that the sanctity of religious places is kept like that. The Uttarakhand State Police have launched this particular operation. This is titled as Operation Maryada. Operation Maryada. You should remember that this is a Uttarakhand State Police operation. Our next article is talking about the DACA program. It is stated that a United States judge has ordered that DACA program be voided because it is illegal. So we'll see what is this DACA program and why it is a significant initiative of the United States. DACA program stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Every year we see thousands of people illegally trying to enter the United States. They might be going to United States for better livelihood or for better lives. So when they try to go to United States illegally, they are generally arrested and they are generally sent back. But sometimes when people, that is when minors alone come to United States illegally, these minors could not be sent back, because you don't know where you should send these minors, because they might not have the relevant documents to go back to a particular country. So the United States has come up with this deferred action for childhood arrivals, where it has stated that those people that are mainly minors who are less than 18 years, even though if they have entered the country illegally, they would not be sent back and they would be given a right to work in the United States. So it has granted protection from deportation or sending back, and it have provided them a right or an opportunity to work in the United States. So this is a significant program brought out by the US government, mainly to protect minors who have entered the United States illegally. And now it is stated that this program have to be voided, and these people who have entered the country illegally have to be sent back. We'll see how it goes. You should also note that nearly 8 lakh people are protected under this program, and thousands of them are also Indians. Our next article is talking about the carbon trading scheme started by China. So what is this carbon trading scheme? Under this carbon trading scheme, the government of a particular country will impose a particular limit on carbon emissions, will impose limitation on carbon dioxide and other carbon emissions. So how does this work? Let's say there are three companies. Company A in a particular year might be releasing 1000 kgs of pollution. It may be carbon dioxide or it may be other pollutions. Company B in a particular year might be releasing 2000 kilos of pollution. Company C might be releasing 1500 kilos of pollution. This may be the pollution levels generated by these three companies as of now. And under the new scheme, the government might say that the maximum emission of carbon in a particular year is 1200 only. Then these two companies which are producing more than 1200 kilos of carbon emissions in a particular year will have to reduce their pollution levels. If they could not reduce their pollution levels, they could buy the excess pollution limit of company A, because it is stated that a company can produce 1200 kgs of pollution a year, but company A is using just 1000 kilos of pollution, so it can produce 200 kgs of extra pollution if it wants. So this company B or C might try to buy this 200 kgs of extra pollution limit of company A. So if company B is producing 1200 kilos and if company B is buying 200 kgs of limit from company A, the maximum it can produce is 1400, and if the rest 600 kilos are being polluted, that is if the company is producing more than this 1400 kilos, now it have to pay a huge amount as fine to the government. So what would the company B do? It will try to improve the efficiency, it will try to increase the infrastructure so as to reduce the pollution. So carbon trading is mainly to reduce the pollution levels in a particular country. Our next article is talking about the Hubble telescope. The Hubble telescope. You can see in this image how there is the Hubble telescope in the space. It is in the space. You should remember that this is the largest ever telescope in the space. This is the largest telescope that is presently in the space. It was launched by United States way back in the year 1990. So it was launched in the year 1990 by the NASA, which is a space agency of the United States of America, and it is the largest telescope that is currently in the space. You might note that this Hubble telescope is mainly used for research and exploration purposes of the space. And with this, we have come to the end of the session. Inform about ADOT's initiative to your other aspirant friends. You can visit ADOT's website to attempt mock test based on current affairs videos. Thank you for watching.
Add-on solutions. Add-on desires.